Today's episode, we're going to discuss any mental barriers that you may have and you may face, any blocks that you're holding from your past or that are lingering within you, that are holding you back from reaching your fullest potential, your best version of yourself. So what are mental barriers? And what they are limiting beliefs. They are beliefs that we hold about the world, whether it is to do with beliefs about yourself, what you think of yourself, or whether it is what you think about the world around you, about money, about love, about relationships, about what you're worthy of. These are beliefs that we hold. They are in our subconscious mind. So today I would like to bring to a forefront for you to have an idea and maybe start understanding what are those limiting beliefs, what are those blocks and barriers that you hold that are stopping you and blocking you from going after what you really want in life. So I'm going to list few things or few limiting beliefs that you may resonate with. And I want you to, when you listen to it, I want you to go within and maybe pause this video and go within to ask yourself a question. Where did this come from? Where do I bought into this misunderstanding? What was my age when I first started to believe that I'm in some way not enough, that I'm incomplete, that there is something wrong with me. So I want you to really reflect as you listen today. So number one, or the first thing that you might find, is an imposter syndrome, which essentially is feeling like a fraud. It's feeling like you are not authentic in who you are, what you do, what you put out into the world, or whenever you want to take a leap and be courageous to do something you've never done, even though you know you are qualified for it or you have some knowledge around it, you feel like you are a fraud. You feel like, who am I to do this? Or I don't have enough information. This is a limiting belief at play. This is your block to stop you from moving forward, and it's to stop you from going out of your comfort zone. Well, you have to understand that all limiting beliefs are there to hold you back. They are there to, and limiting beliefs, we obviously as human beings, we have so many beliefs about the world and everything, really, everything that surrounds us, about ourselves, about our loved ones. We have beliefs, and limiting belief is the belief that stops you from becoming a better version of yourself. It stops you from earning more money, or stops you from finding the love of your life. It stops you from creating what you desire. So second limiting belief that you may find yourself stuck with is perfectionism. And what perfectionism is fear of screwing up. Essentially, you have this big fear that if you fail and if you don't do something 100% perfectly, which very often is impossible, then that is freezing you up. That is holding you back, because the fear of not doing something perfectly is too big, because that will mean something about you. If you don't do something perfectly, that means that you are a failure, that you are not enough. And there must be a very deeply rooted belief that you are in some way broken, you are in somewhere not enough, because you have to perform to acquire the feeling of being enough. And oftentimes this stems from childhood, where we had to do everything perfect because our caretakers would only then see us and give us affection and give us love. So for that reason, we have this very deeply ingrained belief that to be enough and to be worthy, we have to be perfect. And of course, this thing alone will stop you and block you from doing anything, because you know logically that nothing can be perfect. Life isn't perfect. You are not perfect. I am not perfect. No one is perfect. Life is flawed. People are flawed. And that if we have a belief that we have to be perfect to do something, to even start doing something, but then at the same time we know that it's very hard to get the perfection in anything that we do, we are keeping ourselves blocked from pursuing anything, from going out of the comfort zone. That will be a limiting belief that will hold you back from going after what you really deserve. Next limiting belief that could be holding you back is fear of failure. And fear of failure comes from, again, having a very high performer parents who were expecting a lot from us, parents who were only giving us the affection and love and acknowledgement, and we felt only seen if we have won in life in some way, whether it's our grades, whether it was play at school, whatever that was. If we were only acknowledged for winning, or we were diminished or berated or shamed as children if we failed, whether it was by our peers or parents or generally the environment, you could hold a very deep fear of failure. And of course, with your logical mind, it's so easy to understand that to win at anything, you have to fail over and over and over and over again. And anyone that mastered anything, they failed over and over and over again. So to actually achieve anything in life, you need to get used to failing. But to be able to fail is to have some sort of level of self-acceptance, some level of self-love, some level of, if I fail, that does not determine my worthiness. I am still safe, I am still worthy, and I am still okay and enough, and I still belong, even if I fail. And that's the only way for you to pursue anything that you desire, is for you to fail, is for you to be okay with failure. Next limiting belief, very common one, is self-doubt. When as children we haven't been affirmed to and encouraged to go after things, to try again. Every human being needs to feel loved, they need to feel safe, and they need to feel that they belong. And if these things have been conditional in your childhood and you haven't been affirmed for even failing, or if something went wrong or you didn't get the best grade at school, if your parents either silent treated you in that, or they didn't really encouraged you to try again or try better next time, but you had some sort of punishment for that, you would really struggle with that. You would really struggle with doubting yourself. And self-doubt is something that we all carry in some way, shape or form. We all have certain level of doubt in ourselves until we do the healing work, until we start acknowledging ourselves for who we are, until we do the work of forgiveness, until we do the work of actually shadow work, and we work with ourselves, we sit with ourselves, we are being compassionate towards our journey. Until we do that work, it's very easy to be stuck in self-doubt, because you don't trust yourself, you don't really honor yourself as a human being on this journey. And so self-doubt can really hold you back. And self-doubt comes from, or one of the ways it can manifest into your life is, again, when we haven't been, as a child, we haven't been encouraged to try again and again and again, and we haven't been told that it's okay to fail, and that's okay, it doesn't mean anything about you, I've got you, I believe in you. When we didn't hear those words of affirmation from our caretakers, it's very hard to have that own that, like that own belief in yourself. And as an awakening woman, as an adult, we have the beautiful opportunity to reparent ourselves, to be the best parent, or that parent that we needed at the time. And we can go back into our inner child work and heal that part of us that is doubting herself. And just trust that you are enough and you are capable. Don't question yourself. And also remember that any skill needs time and needs repetition to master. So self-doubt is one of those very, very heavy burdens that we carry, is because we don't believe in ourselves. Next point on my list is people pleasing. And of course, people pleasing again will come from the childhood. Of course, we can acquire these limiting beliefs throughout our adult life, but mainly and very often we carry these things from childhood. And people pleasing is when we had a caretaker that we had to please in some way, we had to do something to receive love and acknowledgement and being seen and loved, and we felt safe when we were pleasing others. And especially as a girl, especially as a woman, we as a society have been programmed to please, because women are very nurturing. We are natural nurturers, and so it's very how we have been positioned in society is to be of service, to our husband, to be of service of our parents, to be the good girl as a child, and be obedient. This whole channel is there to break those patterns, to break those generational patterns, to break the societal patterns, to break free and be your version of yourself, the free woman that you are. So people pleasing is essentially getting approval of others, to know that we are okay, to know that we are enough, to know that we are lovable, to know that we belong. We please, and we are so disconnected from what we want, because we are focused constantly on the external, on what this person, what my friend needs, what my partner needs, what my child needs, constantly pleasing, and going against your needs, going against what is it that you actually want to be directing your life towards. You will never know what is it that you want if you keep focusing your attention and your energy on others around you. So that will be another very limiting belief, very blocking. I'm a recovering people pleaser, well, actually all of these limiting beliefs I have been working with for the last 5 years of my self-development journey, because I had it all. It was imposter. I was fearing of failure. I doubted myself. I didn't trust myself. I was pleasing everyone. I was so disconnected from who I was. And today I live life in the way and the alignment with me, and there's no one in this world that I listen to before I listen to my own intuition, before I listen to my own inner gut feeling, my knowledge, my logical mind. I make my decisions for me, and then I can own them. If I fail, if I mess it up, at least I know that there was no input from the external world. Because what we need to understand is, when we live our life in alignment with others, you then take their own limiting beliefs, their own vision of the world, all of this that they have acquired, they then come and try to give that to you, and then you live your life essentially by others rather than by yourself. And last but not least, limiting belief, or the block that you may be carrying with yourself, is comparison. And I always say comparison is a bitch, because how can you compare yourself to anyone in this world? You have one journey, and that journey is very unique to you. It's you have the gifts, you have The way you see the world is so unique. So why on earth would we compare ourselves to anyone out there? The only comparison I can think of that's healthy is when you are looking to become this better version of yourself, or you are looking to become something, to do something that someone's already doing. And I wouldn't even see it or classify it as a comparison. I would probably just say that this is the road that you want to take, and you're going to put your own spin to it. So it's still your unique journey, but it's okay to learn from those that has already achieved what you are trying to achieve. And that's not even comparison. Comparison is when you look at someone and you think, I want what they have, and that makes you feel diminished. It makes you feel not enough. It makes you feel worse than before you started comparing yourself. So when you can understand that you are a very unique 1 in 8 billion people on this planet, there's only one you, there only will be you, and there's never going to be another you. So this is how unique you are. And on this journey, you need to listen to you, because if you compare yourself to others and to their journey, everyone has different circumstances, everyone has different point of view, everyone has different sense of what is it that you actually want in life. And when you compare yourself, that judgment can be very distorted, because you don't actually listen to your own heart, to your own desires. You look at someone achieving something, and if you compare yourself, to diminish yourself, to remind yourself that's not where you are, it's not serving you. You can compare yourself to someone and think, oh, I really want that. And that will present you with the desire for it, but in a healthy way. You just recognize that that's what you really want, and then you move towards, you go back into your own lane, and you pursue that desire through your own lens, in your own way, maybe being innovative about it. When you compare yourself and you try to copy someone, you end up doing something it's already been done. It's not unique, it's not you, it's not authentic. So yeah, comparison can really block you and stop you from achieving anything, or it's going to keep you stuck, because it's not positive affirmation. It's negative when you sit there and just scroll down on social media and see what others look like, what others have. It's just not healthy. So get back into your own lane and listen to your gut for where your soul wants to go. What is it that you were meant to be doing in this lifetime? So now we're going to move on to the practical way of how you can start overcoming these limiting beliefs and those barriers that are holding you back from living your fullest potential. So number 1 is awareness. Everything always starts with awareness. Every change, everything has to stem from you being aware of where those limiting beliefs come from. So I would like you to take a journal out. I would like you to write it out and be like, okay, do I have self-doubt? Yes. Where did this stem from? Where did it happen? When was the time in my life that I first believed, or started to believe, and formated this belief about myself, that I cannot be trusted and that I am incapable of pursuing what I want to pursue? I want you to sit with yourself, and I want you to answer that question. And if it will come up that it was you at the age of 10, you were competing at school in some sports, and you didn't come first or second, and your parents didn't really affirm that was okay, and they seemed disappointed, or there was, I don't know, people were booing you or whatever, anything so insignificant could have triggered the belief, the limiting belief in you. So I want you to become aware of it, where it comes from. How is this playing in my life today? When are the moments in my life, in my everyday life, that I don't feel like I can trust myself, that I have this doubt coming? Is it when I need to go and present in the business meeting? Is it when I have to have a vulnerable conversation with my partner? Is it when I want to pursue something new and that is just holding me back and stopping me from pursuing that dream, that new job, that new relationship, because I doubt myself so much? And the next thing to do is to reframe that negative thought. So to reframe that thought is, if you have a belief and if you think, okay, I doubt myself. I doubt myself with everything I want to do. I don't know if I'm gonna go, and I go out and I ask everyone around me how should I live my life. I go and look for advice. I go to mediums. I go to friends. I ask everyone around, what should I do in my life? That is because you don't trust yourself. You doubt your own capabilities of making a decision. And so to reframe is to, if you have a negative belief, I doubt myself, I don't trust myself, the opposite to that, and to reframe that belief is, I can be trusted. I am trustworthy. I can trust myself. I can trust my intuition, and I can trust my logical mind. Because with all the resources that I've learned throughout my life, I know I'm doing the right thing. And then I want you to look for evidence in your past. When was the time that I have proven myself that I can be trusted? When was the time when I made the right decision? When was the time when someone came for advice from me? How can I trust myself? How can I reframe this limiting belief? Next point to overcome your limiting beliefs is to build confidence. And to be confident is to practice being confident. Confidence isn't something that some people are born with and some people are not born with. Confidence is something, it's a skill that is being built by you saying yes to you, by you being bold and courageous to take action every single day, by creating momentum and consistency in pursuing whatever that you want to pursue, whatever you set yourself up to achieve. By showing up for yourself, you are building confidence and self-esteem. So it's so important to commit to what you want to become, what you want to achieve, what is the next step in your career, what is the next step in your life, in your personal life, in your fitness journey, in your health, and commit to that, to one action a day. It doesn't have to be anything extraordinary. It doesn't have to be overwhelming, but one simple task that you committing yourself to doing to build confidence on the journey of becoming that better version of yourself, or becoming the full potential that you know you have within you. Next point that will really help you with overcoming any barriers, any mind barriers and any limiting beliefs, it's mindfulness practice. Now, I can't stress enough how big of an impact meditation, being in nature, being present had on my career and where I am and where I want to be and where I'm heading is just so profound, because there's so much wisdom and there's so many answers that you hold within you. When you can commit yourself to mindfulness practice, when you allow yourself to sit with yourself, to ask those questions, allow for the answers to come through, to help yourself with the fear and anxiety as well, it's a beautiful, beautiful way of rewiring your brain for being more calmer, to move back into your parasympathetic nervous system, so the homeostasis state, and also to reprogram your brain for being more calmer, to overcome your anxiety, but also to reprogram your brain for being bolder, for knowing where you're going, for having the clarity, for breathing and living your best version of yourself. And mindfulness practice, I can't express enough how important it is on my journey. And it's an intrinsic part of my life. And I find myself that if I don't meditate for a few days, and I've been meditating for 5 years now, but I have those periods of like a month I won't really meditate. I still go like on gratitude meditation, walking meditation. So I still implement those practices in my everyday life at some point, but to actually sit down and meditate with myself, I did have few periods over the 5 years that I would not be so committed, and I see massive difference in the way I am, the way I see the world, in my positivity levels, in how driven I feel, how creative I feel. It really has a massive impact. So mindfulness practice, and don't overthink it. I always say it. Don't think that you need to become a monk all of the sudden, that you need to sit there and meditate for 2 hours every day. Make it simple. Commit to 5 minutes, commit to 10 minutes a day to start with, and you will find that the bliss that you feel when you teach yourself to be with yourself, when you teach yourself to be present, to be courageous enough to invite any feelings and emotions that want to come through, you will find that you will be looking forward to that time. I always look forward to meditation because it's a beautiful time with me, and it's a peaceful time. I can then block all the distractions, I can block all the worries, all the challenges that I have, and I almost see meditation as if going back to me, into my brain, and finding all the answers and kind of putting those puzzle pieces together in my own head so that I can get clarity of what's the next step in my business, what's the next step in my relationship, how can I connect with my child on a better level, coming from this place of compassion and love, because that's what you drop into when you meditate, when you are being with yourself. So I definitely recommend you trying some mindfulness practices. Next thing that I will mention in how to overcome your limiting beliefs and how to become a better version of yourself and step into your potential is to surround yourself with people who are doing it. Surround yourself with a community or mentorship or coach, someone who will hold your hand along the way. Having a helping hand on whatever you are struggling with can be crucial for you to actually overcome it. I obviously am advocate for journaling, for your own healing practices, for being with yourself, for meditation, for doing the shadow work. But I think it's so amazing to surround yourself with people who are doing it, who are on the same journey, or they have overcome what you are trying to overcome. And having a coach, having someone in your corner that you can turn to is an amazing way of overcoming your limiting beliefs, of overcoming those barriers that are oftentimes staying very dormant, and we don't really have the awareness, we don't really know that they are holding us back. You know, I've been again on the healing journey for 5 years, and there's something new constantly coming up for me. I wasn't even aware of the things that last year came up for me. New things that I need to look at, and new things that I have been healing and I've been working with and I've been journaling about, and bringing more awareness and understanding and healing to those parts of me as well. So we are not always very aware of what is actually holding us back, but by having someone to talk to, having a therapist or a coach can really help with narrowing it down to find out more of, okay, why am I struggling with procrastination? Why do I constantly choose the wrong things to eat? Why do I find myself addicted to and binge eat, or binge Netflix, or binge you name it, or binge fill in the blank? Why am I constantly chasing that dopamine inducement? Something underneath is pushing me towards making those decisions in my subconscious mind, and if I need help with that, turning to someone can be an amazing idea. And of course, an immense power flows from having like-minded women on your journey that can support you, that you can exchange insights with, and you just feel like you are not alone on this journey. And I hope this community in here will do just that for you, that you can comment, you can connect with others, you can connect with me, and we can support each other along the way. And last but not least is to take action. So another way to overcome your limiting beliefs is to take action anyway. So be scared and do it anyway. Fear being seen, do it anyway. When we step into that boldness and into that, like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it because I am scared. I feel like I'm an imposter. I feel like I can't do this. I have all this doubt, and all of this is happening here, but I'm not gonna let that stop me from achieving my goal. I'm not gonna let that control me, because what you need to understand, everything that's stopping you, everything that doesn't serve you is a limiting belief, period. So if you could just let go, and I live my life by this rule. I live my life by, if something doesn't serve me, it's not for me. If that something doesn't serve me, it's not true. So if I have a belief about anything that doesn't serve me, I just take it, it's not mine. I must have acquired it from someone, and that is not true because I don't live my life by anyone else. I live my life by me, and if something serves me, it stays in my life, and it doesn't, then it can go. So it's a simple way of you deciding, this is good for me, this is not good for me. And if something doesn't feel right, makes you feel small, makes you feel not worthy, makes you feel not good enough, if something is there in your life that makes you feel all these things, I want you to remember and know that you are intrinsically enough. It's your birthright to achieve, it's your birthright to be successful, it's your birthright to be the best version of yourself in this lifetime, because you only have one life. And no one is coming to save you, and you have to take responsibility, and you have to be bold about your decisions, trusting it. And if you fail, then you fail. We all fail at some point, but you're going to have this beautiful sense of trying. At least you tried. The biggest regret people have is if they don't try. And I would rather have a regret of failing and not regret of not even trying. And that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode today on overcoming barriers for success, overcoming your limiting beliefs. I hope this was helpful to you. Share in the comments if you found this helpful. Share in the comments what are the biggest barriers that you are facing, and how you are planning to overcome them, or if you have overcome them, please let us know and share, so that women that are here listening and sharing with you can feel that they're not alone. It was my pleasure to be here with you today. Subscribe to this channel and share it with those women that you love. If you found this helpful, comment below to let me know what are your limiting beliefs that you have detected by listening to me today, and how you are going to overcome them. What is the action that you're going to take to work with those limiting beliefs? I have a free resource for you for how to overcome your negative self-talk within 7 days. So it's a 7-day challenge. It's absolutely free. And if you want to join on the challenge, tap the link below this video, and I'd love to have you on the challenge soon. Take care for now, and I'll speak to you on the next one.